second session for me, decided to change my position. And this one is going to be even more interesting than the first session, even if I have to say so, because we have an eclectic mix of brands, different stages of online, offline sales ratios. We also have our enabler, Sumit here from Shiprocket. So I was just teasing him that everybody every week asks on a D2C group for people of Shiprocket. So I'm going to now start giving his number because everybody wants Shiprocket to, kind of service them. So what is very interesting is we have a lot of premium brands here. We have Ulhas at that corner. Ulhas, you want to just wave out from Seiko. So you're talking of brands which start at an average price point of 30,000. I have my good friend Rohit here who does Tommy CK. Rohit, you want to just wave out so that they know who you are? Yeah. On the other hand, I have lovely Natasha who does a very sensorial brand, Soulflower. Yeah. Sumit, who all the Gen Z girls love his brand, NEWME. Sumit, you also want to wave out? And of course, Chirag here, who is going now from the grandmother to the granddaughter, correct? Yeah. So we are basically talking of a brand, Ayurveda brand, Dr. Vaidya's, which has now also got a wellness brand, 360 Wellness, and we all know the wellness is booming. Everybody in this room knows what is the next brand after Minimalist, which is at 1,000 crores kind of a valuation, which is Wellbeing Nutrition, which is in your category. So we are going to have some very interesting questions. We'll try to do it fast so that we can cover everything that we want to talk. So my first question is actually going to be to Chirag. You have two brands. One is an Ayurveda brand, if I may call it the mother or the grandmother's brand, and you decided to expand with Natural Wellness, 360 Wellness is the brand. How are you really managing the online sales to a grandmother as well as the granddaughter? And how are you looking at CAC and LTV? Because those are very relevant to you. Yours are repeat purchase brands.
So actually very pertinent question. Both of them have a very different way of thinking. So one thing I've done is Dr. Vaidya is a 150-year-old legacy brand, right? So we had a lot of data and a lot of consumer database for the elderly and the grandmothers, as we say, and especially the mass audience, right? So we went back to them, spoke to them, understand them best. And then through them, we've spoken to the younger generation also, and they've been kind enough to let us in and understood that there is a need for a different set of products for different set of problems, or let's say to be at peak performance among the younger audience, and they want more products, and that's how we thought of the brand 360 Wellness, which is a little more than Ayurveda. It's actually more inclusive in terms of oral herbal, and which talks to probably the top 5 to 10% of India and kind of serves in a very different way. So that's the first part, right? And the second part is the growing CACs, right? And that's a very pertinent question which the entire industry is facing right now. We've had three advantages. The brand started around COVID and scaled then, right? So the first advantage is we actually acquired a lot of customers back then, right? And anyone who knows CAC knows that acquisition CAC is much higher than the retention CAC, right? And today we've built a large database, so we actually retain a lot of that database. Large part of our orders are repeat 50, 60% and above. And the CAC for those is typically 50% lower than your acquisition CAC, right? So that's the first thing that is helping me take care of the economics. Second major change we've seen is that the whole tech industry has evolved so much that we have so much data available now every single day that we are able to slice and dice data on an hourly basis if we want to, right? So every single day we are looking at the lead indicators, the lag indicators, and taking decisions to run it more efficiently in a more focused manner, right? Which is extremely important. Otherwise, you'll get into loss in this whole race to be at the top. So those 2-3 things have helped us be on track and ensure that we kind of are still maintaining CM level or EBITDA level positivity while growing the brand.
Yeah. My next question is to both Rohit and Ulhas, because you all are running what I call as ultra premium bridge to luxury brands. Rohit, you manage Calvin Klein and Tommy. Ulhas, you manage Seiko. You are talking of average bill sizes of 4,000, 5,000 for you, Rohit, and 30,000 plus for you. So your acquisitions, and you guys are almost 80%, 90% offline sales driven. But both of you, again, have ambitions of higher online sales. So can both of you in turn share with us how do you really see this transition happening? And also, how are you seeing this acquisition online and shifting to the customer offline happening for you all? How's the offline CAC going for you?
Hello. Yeah. So, see, firstly, in terms of Tommy CK both, right? We are both the brands are pull brands, right?
Absolutely.
We're not push brands, right? So for us, most of the job is being done by the legacy of the brands in India. So Tommy Hilfiger has been in India for almost 18, 20 years now. However, when we launch, when we go to the different e-commerce channels now, while we scale up on Tata Click Luxury, or we are scaling up on Nykaa, we are now going to be making, we'll soon have our own website. For us, it's going to be, looking at the whole, offline, online business as one. That's the first change for an offline player, right? So of our size. So in terms of established businesses, the first thing is how do we manage to change the old habits that we had in marketing or in the way we used to grab new customers, right? So for us, I think the way we are looking at it now is in terms of customer acquisitions, also these two brands, by the way, don't have any social media presence in India.
Are you serious?
That's a
How do you
secret
manage
I've
that?
let out. And so that's why I said we are very, very strong pull brands. Yeah. But with the new website coming up, etc., we obviously gonna have to change the way we used to look at customer acquisition in offline versus online. So now it's gonna be more social media driven. In the future we may have or we may not have a social media page, but through celebrity endorsements, etc. That's how we are looking at the whole piece when we go omni-channel.
I'm going to call you brave, Rohit. I mean, today's day and age, not having a social media handle, hats off.
We have the international pages. That's the only page that we allow.
No India pages.
Yeah, no India page.
Okay. Ulhas, your version.
I think in line with what Rohit is saying, but for us, taking away two things from Rohit and the legacy word that you used, right? We are also about a 144-year-old brand from the center of Japan, right? Considering that legacy and the new age requirement of meeting the the Gen Zs, digital is the bridge for that, for us. We don't consider digital as our primary channel of sale. We consider it as only the medium for reaching out to the Gen Zs faster. When I put it like this, while it might be a wrong strategy considering the accelerated growth of e-commerce in general, but marketplace is the best way to reach out to newer and faster audience. The brand name, the marketplace, and the confidence that the marketplace is already put onto the customer allows multiple brands to reach out to customers faster. But for us, the strength still lies in the brick and mortar. Because we are a high value product, not out of sheer demand, but out of choice as well, we really want to engage with the customer. We don't want a purchase to just seem like a transaction. That is, you want to buy a watch, you clicked it, you got it delivered to your house, it's done. It's for us a little bit more than that. It's about knowing your customer, engaging with him a little bit more. Because like we all rightly mentioned, the CAC for acquisition is much higher. And for us, the retention does not happen in digital. Unfortunately, the reality is digital has become very transactional. So you need to bring that audience somewhere on a face-to-face trajectory for him to being a long-term loyalist, which kind of is the long-term value for us. So the CACs are also very high, but still, we kind of have that necessity and that engagement model where most of our high-value products are still retailed only in our boutiques. And marketplace we don't retail our top of the line in marketplace still. Even the algorithm, something that I kind of keep talking about, the algorithm of every product which is digital, which could be a social medias or the marketplaces, follow or revolve around this concept of algorithmic bias, which is basically the higher clicks, the higher sales, the higher reviews, it keeps going up, right? And for brands like ours, it's about your newness, your uniqueness, the story that each watch tells. The highest volume selling product might not necessarily be your best product, right? Most of the brands' best product might not be the highest volume generate. When I say best, internal to the brand, the thought process, the technology, the commitment put on the product necessarily might not. For some brands, it might be the lowest price product, which is your volume. So algorithmic bias kind of keep pushing that. which kind of in the apparel industry, if, I mean, just taking a keyword of that, in the long run, it would become only the blacks and the whites, right? You will end up selling only the blacks and the white, even if you have a design team coming up with really good design. So that's something that retail can really work and help you out with. Retail lets you put those new strategic designs out for the world to see. Not so much. So hence, we do the strategic decision making where e-commerce, definitely the Gen Zs, faster access, turnaround, and then retail for something slightly different that way.
So Natasha, now over to you, because you run Soulflower, which is a brand of oils, lotions, soaps. You know, it's a very sensorial brand, fragrance. You need to experience it before you choose. And you are a brand which was an offline brand. COVID made you online. And you've made such a success of online that today 15% sales only come from offline, from 100%. Yeah? Can you tell us how you did this transition? You shared this lovely case study with us about how you made a hero product and conquered the market. I think our audience needs to listen to it.
Yeah, okay. So I think the main story that I want to tell you is that, and I know this is Bangalore, this is the hub of being funded. My story is about how you can build a brand online without having any money. I think that's the main bottom line of the story. So before COVID, we had 580 stores. We were in 580 stores. And in COVID, we were in 0 stores.
Wow.
So everything shut. And we knew we had a good product, but there was no way we could get it to the customer. And I think, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. So we said, okay, fine, what do? We have to go online. Let's go online. There's no other way of survival. Now, when you go online, there are very few things that you've got to understand. You need a lot of marketing money. You need a lot of social media. Meta is becoming richer and richer. YouTube has become richer and richer. But what happens when you don't have that money, right? So Soulflower didn't have any money in the sense we used to spend 1 lakh rupees a year on our marketing when we had stores. So you can imagine that budget. I think people spend that in maybe in 10 minutes right now, most of the brands. So when we had to go online and we didn't have any money, so what do? You have to, I think you have to rework your whole DNA. You have to change whatever you were doing. So definitely, I'm not saying that we were not going to have the same products, but the way you sell it has to change. Your pack sizes have to change. The way visually the customer looks at the product has to change, because now he can't touch and feel it. So can your words, you know, give them a better feel? As you said, when we were in stores, people used to come, touch, feel, smell the product and say, hey, this is wow, and take it and go. We didn't have that opportunity online. So what we did is we started investing in clinical studies. So clinical study is something you don't need to touch and feel the product. If I say that there's a clinical study and I'm going to grow your hair back in 90 days, you will buy it because you know it's going to work. So I think that is one strategy that we adopted. The other thing is that you can't have too many SKUs. So when I was in Shoppers Stop, there was a point when they used to say that you have to launch 50 SKUs every month because they used to have so many stores, fill up the shelves, fill up the shelves. And we had to rethink everything. We started cutting down. We have only 40 SKUs now. Out of that 40 also, we decided we can't even have 40. Let's just focus on one. And I think this is the story I would like to tell everyone and take back. Just decide on one. So we decided that there is this oil called rosemary. And let me tell you, Soulflower is the OG rosemary. We are the ones who made people know what is rosemary in this country. And when I started selling it, we listed it on Amazon. I think it shows 2017 it was listed. I mean, we were online before COVID, but not really strongly. And then we started focusing on it in COVID. And Amazon told us, ye product kya hai? Nobody is buying it. There is no scope for rosemary. Please don't sell it. We said, no, we know. So the product, the concern of the customer, what is happening around you is very important. We realized people were going through COVID. People went through a lot of stress. There were so many things happening. People started losing their hair. Now, even my whole audience changed. In Shoppers Stop, the people who walk into are 30 plus, in fact, 45 plus. Right now, my audience is 18 to 35. Those are the people I cater to. And believe me, they have the highest hair loss. I'm sure if I ask people here who are below 35 and who have hair loss, please raise your hands. Raise your hands. Show me. None of y'all have hair fall. This is amazing. But Bangalore is my highest market.
Users of Soulflower rosemary.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying if you have hair fall, it doesn't matter whether you use my product. So the point is, on online, you have to be very specific. You have to understand what the customer needs even before he knows that he will need it. Right? That is how intuitive you have to be. And then you build your storytelling around it. So most of my content is only around rosemary. And that's how we build a brand big by big without spending too much money. I think that's the story of Soulflower.
I think there are a lot of takeaways, biggest one being focus.
Yeah.
And really knowing your product portfolio, because trimming down product portfolios, concentrating on one product, high risk, but obviously a very high payoff when it's successful. I'll now go to Sumit, who is the CEO for a very famous Gen Z brand, fashion brand for young girls called NEWME. And what Sumit has recently done is he has also built his own quick commerce channel called NEWME Zip. And we just want to understand that for a brand which is so young, you started online, you're doing offline, now Zip, how are you really seeing the customer across these 3 channels, and how are you targeting them for all of these 3 channels? Are there different purchase occasions? Are there different ticket sizes? How does it work, Sumit? Can you tell us?
Oh, first of all, thanks. So I think that's a very VC question according to me. I think as founders, consumer is consumer for us. And I think that's how we look at it at NEWME. We want to make sure that every touch point of customer, be it online and offline, has to be unique, has to be memorable. I think today, the day is over where we could think offline as just a transactional platform. I think we are very proud and we have built stores which are very unique. And I think we are the only brand in India which doesn't repeat our store, which is very difficult. But we have taken that conscious call that even in Bangalore, we have 4 stores, but they are not same. And that needed a lot of very fundamental thinking at founders level, what you want to achieve as a founder. I think same for channel. I think consumers, and this is all our FGDs we do with customers, that a young girl, for her, fashion is a very big part of her life. I think the insight that we have is that it's not like food. It's a place for her to express herself. And that, for a brand, has to be where she's emotionally connected, she gets confidence. Believe me, in all our focus group discussions, we ask them 2 things about NEWME, which is a top of the mind word. And confidence is one of biggest word coming there, that it enables me to be confident. Because a very young woman, imagine she's 18, 19 years of age, just out of college, going to first internship or going to the first graduation course, she's judged. That's how Indian society is. But when she's wearing something which is very confident, very on-trend, that is a very big booster for her. I think that what we have learned is that NEWME Zip is just a medium for us to service one more occasion. Believe me, when I talk about NEWME Zip, this is a service where the people are planning for evening. So if I tell you the timing of orders, you will be surprised. Monday morning, highest peak. Surprising. But we never planned for it. Monday morning, we have realized, we called and said, going to college. We forgot to plan. आज शाम को ऑफिस में कॉलेज में कुछ पार्टी है, I have to go for that. Okay. Believe me, we planned that weekend will be highest for us and Monday will be lowest for us. But Saturday and Monday are my highest days. So sometimes our intuition or our logic may surprise by the customers' purchase patterns. So for me, I think when I look at online, offline, the first learning is that treat them as one consumer, give them experience which they expect in online and offline. I have seen a lot of brands or all where for them offline is very critical, online is discount driven. And I think I'll just disagree to my friend's point that marketplaces are where customers are buying. I feel that, I think what he's saying, that today consumers buying a story. They are not buying a product anymore. They're buying something which they believe in. And any brand which is just becoming discounted, becoming just one more label, those days are over in India. I think consumers are far more aware. Consumers are far more cynical about a brand. They're far more worthy of what they want to wear, what they want to express themselves with. I think that's a very big inflection point in the country. Then country is going to have inflection where no more even just building consumer pricing. You have to have great design, good experience, good distribution channel, consistently delivering on the promise is very important.
Thanks. I think, again, a lot of insights and the fact that the customer really has different occasions. I mean, Monday morning for dressing up, wow, that's a new for me for sure. I think when we are talking of quick commerce, we are talking of multiple channels and delivery. It is obvious that we now go to Sumit.
Gaurav.
We go to Gaurav. Gaurav, for Shiprocket, you service hell of a lot of online brands, you know, they are direct deliveries. You also are empaneled with brands like Cred and Amazon Marketplace, etc. And of course, now you're enabling brands like NEWME to kind of do a, you know, quick commerce kind of a delivery without being on a quick commerce platform. How do you really see the industry changing? Because sometimes as a user, I also see some of the, you know, when you order from a D2C website, brands are taking 5 to 7 days. Now today when 10 minutes is becoming the norm, how do you think brands should meet this new change?
Yep. So, hi everyone. Personally, I have seen the e-com revolution almost like from 2009. Just when I entered the college, I heard about Ankit Nagori joining Flipkart. 2-3 people company it was. When I graduated, I saw Flipkart hiring 50 engineers from the same college. A lot of my friends went there. Then when I started Picker, all the marketplaces were the only thing in 2015, and new D2C brands started coming up. Nobody knew the D2C word. It was the e-commerce or the TV commerce, which was mainly prevailing at that point of time. When I sold my company to Shiprocket, then also, you know, quick commerce started enabling. So I have seen a lot of trends emerge from the roots, you know, when they were emerging in India and India specific. And one thing I've seen as consistent, which is consistent even today, what I heard from all other people is that, you know, there is an MTT framework that we call it, moat, trust, and team. So you always have to innovate, or you have to perceive that you are innovating. You are actually selling a story, like you know, Sumit said, to your consumers. You are establishing trust with your consumers, and then you are delivering on those trust, and your consumers becomes, you know, the influencers who are selling your product or referring your product. And then the team bandwidth. Where exactly are you allocating your team bandwidth? Where exactly they are spending? Where they are innovating? Some things you have to do yourself, something you don't have to do yourself. There are companies who are doing day and night those things, so you can just plug and play and innovate and scale on different aspects. So the thing remains the same, that you have to solve this framework like across all your, you know, story, the product category, the consumer. You have to identify your consumer. You have to know what your consumers are buying, what is the preference of a consumer, and then you have to reduce COD, you have to reduce friction, and you have to be perceived as, you know, a top-class brand which will not cheat your consumers. Cheating is a big thing in India. Like, you know, a lot of tier 3, tier 4, tier 2 people, you know, don't believe in e-commerce. They just order for fun. That, you know, if something comes up, I'll take it. If nothing comes up, it's okay. And then, you know, there are a lot of brands. Like, if one brand starts doing well, 50 brands will start emerging in like in next 2-3 months only. So one hard fact that, you know, we see almost 200 odd brands coming up in every category in a new year. And they all are able to scale to 2,000, 3,000 orders a month. It's not like, you know, they just do 20, 100, 150. Like, they kind of treat Meta as a, you know, kind of a gambling thing, put money there, get consumers, and then, you know, they destroy the brand perception as well for that category. So all these trends we have seen. So now we have also started innovating. Like earlier, we used to ensure that, you know, things get delivered. Then we ensured that things get delivered faster. Now we are ensuring that the products are placed closer to consumers. We're able to forecast better. Plus, we want to identify those consumers. See, eventually, those 20 crore people are the ones who are buying from e-commerce. So we have delivered to almost like 18 odd crores of those consumers in past 10 odd years. So we know like majority of their delivered addresses, deliverable addresses, their preferences, the discounts, what all things they do on e-commerce. With the cookie identification, we in fact know what all they are browsing, you know, relevantly across all. And we can suggest that, you know, you can, like this customer can be a COD customer, can be a prepaid customer, this customer is a discounting customer, this customer doesn't need quick commerce, this customer will accept a product if it reaches within 3 to 4 days itself. So in a nutshell, if this MTT framework a brand is able to solve, they will go with the e-commerce evolution, and I have taken like a data set of almost 16 odd years. Thank you.
So while we did have more questions, I see that we have only 10 minutes left, and I'm sure many in the audience want to ask us some questions. So any questions for the panel or, yeah, we have one gentleman. We need a mic in the audience.
Yep, actually. Hi everyone. This question is for the not specific to Shiprocket, for all the DPs, so delivery partners actually. We can see there are a lot of review comments, or else you can see the delivery issues right now in the market. If any store that we can see, or else any Blue Dot, or else Shiprocket, I can see not only one, almost all DPs, we can see the lot of issues that staff is not responding properly, or else you can see the delivery is not happened, the wrong product is delivered. So how we are addressing with the AI in coming days, that how the AI is featuring, how we can figure out which delivery partners are not responding properly, or else who delivery staff is not responding to the customer properly. So these concerns are there till. I can see with the Blue Dot, or else Shiprocket and DTDC, that every delivery partner right now in the market. So how you are addressing in the future?
Gaurav will take that.
Yeah.
And we request you to keep your questions brief so we can take more people. Thank you.
Bro, this is the kind of a thing that you have to think daily, that there will be issues, there were issues, and there will always be issues. How we can minimize them, how we can solve for them, and to be really frank, like if you go by data, only 2% are delivery issues out of all issues which actually happen. See, delivery boy can be a thief, right? But up to what point? Customer shipping wrong product, majority of the times, this is the problem at the end of the customers. There are, for every brand, like what you have seen into 1.5 lakh brands shipping with us, 30% of the category brands are traders. They will display X and ship Y. So, and they will also use, if your name is X, they will make it X1, X2, something like that. And they will try to, create wrong perception about the brand. Regarding the delivery part, bro, sometimes there is a seasonality component, sometimes the things are choked, network is also choked. Plus, for delivery boys also incentive keep revolving. Now everyone is building a big delivery company, quick commerce and everything. So delivery boys are also getting pushed like employees. I've seen a time, when we started, like we were the 22nd company to enter and probably the only one to exist out of those 22 companies. The delivery boys we hired were like for 15,000 a month, and within 2-3 months, their salary used to be 30,000, 35,000 a month. So this kind of poaching also happens. So this is another issue which, no one is, worried about, or, and then there are locality-based delivery boys who say, we'll do 20 orders on Blinkit, we'll do 20 orders on Zepto, and I'll not do anything for Blue Dart or delivery. So these are, operational issues. They will always be there. Logistics is a thankless industry. No one will praise you for delivering 15 million orders a month, but they will call you a chore for not delivering 3-4 orders a month. So this is a kind of a thing, and we have to live with this perception. This is our bread and butter, and eventually we are trying to minimize this as much as we can. We are trying to communicate with the customer. We want to know the customer that whether the delivery boy came or not, whether you got the right product or not. You can give an NPS for the seller with us. We will take action on those sellers. We'll blacklist those sellers. So there are every year we keep on innovating to solve them, and the bad ones also keep on innovating to further create them. So it's a kind of a two-way problem, but it's getting addressed and minimized with time. It will be zero, absolutely not.
Yeah,
That was a very realistic point. It can't be zero.
yeah, great session. I see both retail, online, e-commerce, and quick commerce folks in the group. So one question I have is, so we are into e-commerce data analytics from the past 7 years. So one thing which has always perplexed me is the size of the whole e-commerce market in India, right? Like we're still talking about sub $100 billion. So is it more like a shift which is happening from the e-commerce to quick commerce right now, or is it the entire ship is going up, right? I mean, because we have been publishing this number that it's 60 to 70 billion dollars right now, combined with the traditional e-commerce and the online, and the quick commerce. So do you guys see this I mean, growing to, let's say, 200 billion in the next 3 to 4 years?
Can I answer that? So we started selling on Amazon and Flipkart and all that. And then when quick commerce came in, we were the first players to be onboarded on Zepto and things like that. But our sale has gone up everywhere. So basically, it's the consumption that has gone up. So when people didn't have that product, they would do without it. So say in his case, if I want to wear something new in the evening and I don't have, I'll pull out something old. But now I have an option to order it. The same thing with our product. I would order from Amazon and I'll wait for a day or two, right? But if I want something right now, I go to my bathroom and I see, okay, my hair oil is over. I'll like forget it. I won't put it today. But now I can put it today because I can just order from Blinkit. So it's about consumption per person. The second thing that is going up is new customers are coming up, right? So now we are really selling a lot in tier 3. So I was just telling her, like, there's a town called Kanchipuram. I'm selling in 1,500 homes out of, like, Amazon has a few homes and we are selling half of those. Soulflower goes there. So new markets are emerging. These people don't have stores. They don't have the luxury of going out and buying from their stores. Those are the people that are converting. And what I emphasize, and this is our plan, so with the GST going down on oils from 18 to 5%, what we are actually going to do is reduce the price of our product. And I am very sure that even the rural people will be buying it. Because they're seeing the videos, they're seeing all the Instagram, they're seeing all those things, and they also want to have that product. So consumption is going up. It's not moving from e-commerce to quick commerce. That's my answer to you.
So with distribution, higher distribution, the consumption is also going up.
And also what happens in for products like ours, the FMCG giants have always dominated the space because of their distribution and supply chain. They can reach the small towns, which we never could. Now because of Zepto, Blinkit, all Amazons, all the Flipkarts of the world, I can also reach there, I can also compete. In fact, we put our GT plans on hold because we said, why do we need to even do it? Hum to pahunch hi rahe hain. So that's what is going to help brands like us at least.
A very quick add-on to what Natasha said, I completely agree. Tier 2, Tier 3 actually is where we're seeing demand emerging for both offline and online. I think there's a formalization of economy in the last 3, 4, 5 years. Cash economy has reduced. Digital payments have actually increased all across. That actually is all enabling the whole aspirational Indian consumer in Tier 2, Tier 3, as well as in cities, as you see. So I think
ePay is the biggest cause why I have no savings now.
Correct. And then buy now, pay later is the next one, right? So that I think really has helped all brands.
In terms of established brands, right, or even premium brands, for us, almost 30% of our sales comes from Tier 3, Tier 2 cities today. Also, I think it's time India started changing the definition of Tier 3, Tier 4. Half of us really do not even, we are still going by the old this thing of calling a particular city Tier 3, Tier 4. It's not Tier 3 anymore. You know, the last time you visited that city was when maybe you were a kid. So people who are into offline retail, who are visiting those markets are, you know, and people like him as well, are actually going to these towns like Hubli, right? It's not a Tier 3, Tier 4 anymore. Please have a visit, and we need to change that perspective, you know. So for established premium brands like us, today we get about, for us, repeat businesses are most important thing, right? Because we sell a story, right? We have a legacy. However, on the online channels today, we are getting many new customers from 19,000 plus pin codes. Out of the 19,000 plus pin codes, you can have a store at maybe 1,000 pin codes, not more than that today. So to answer your question, yes, the demand is going up, and the demand is going up across all tiers. So hence being there on the e-commerce, I don't see, there's no doubt in my mind that the numbers that you were quoting, yes, it will grow. And yes, to support, what she said was right, you know, that previously we used to say, if we did not have something, we will not do it, right? But now you have an option of ordering it and it reaches you like in 10 minutes. So yeah, so that's my bit.
Slightly from a premium price point, I think rightly resonating with him. For us, post-COVID, few shifts that we have seen at our price bracket and our product line. So pre-COVID, a lot of Indians used to go abroad to do most of your shopping, be it Singapore, Dubai, Thailand, the Middle East, etc., right? That has shifted to India substantially post-COVID. People are now spending in India and preferring to do their vacation abroad. That he rightly mentioned here about the so-called tier 2 city as we classify them. These customers used to travel to the metro cities earlier to do all their shopping in metros. Today, thanks to the boom in e-commerce and quick commerce and everything else, these customers are sitting at home and doing the same purchases, which is why we also as brands are considering these as important points and considering of opening retail points there, right? It's not about customers where they are, it's about how brand can reach there. Like she also mentioned, e-commerce has opened up that door where you can go to their houses. You don't need them to come to you anymore. It's more, they're very educated. Today, the information is so much in the online space that customers know more than most of us when they come to us about a particular product. Yes, there might be somebody in the system who knows a lot more, but that is not the only person in the system, right? You have so many links in the system, from your front-end staff to your receptionist to your who all are involved in the system. The customer who comes talk to them has so much more information today because of this online channel. So I think there is no doubt about the fact that every channel in India is going to only aggressively grow, and we are seeing that in our case. We are in one of those weird dilemma situation, especially where our trade is far surpassing the growth than e-commerce. And I have been in e-commerce for a while, and I have been through multiple brands. I have never, in the last so many years of my e-commerce, ever seen trade or the so-called retail and trade put together grow at any pace, even remotely close to e-commerce. The last couple of years, they have been far ahead of the e-commerce growth itself. So e-commerce is growing, trade is growing, quick commerce is growing. I think the entire economy is still in a very, very sweet spot for all of us to grow together.
Thank you. Thank you to my panelists for making it so interesting. I'm sure a lot of insights have been picked up. And thank you, audience, for being so supportive of everything that we had to say.
Fantastic. Let's put our hands together once again for our incredible moderator, Jermina, and of course to all of our panelists. We'd like to felicitate you, so kindly remain on stage.